Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Better Plant Science's channel. On the previous video, we got to know Gabriel, who shared his background, how he got involved with the company. I recommend giving that video a watch first. But today, we want to dive deeper into the story of Chief Creative Officer Perry Chua. And also, we want to dive deeper into the company a little bit. Perry, how do you do today? And are you ready to share some information about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great, Michael. Thanks so much for having me on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So ask away.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's start with talking about your professional background before you got involved, and then tell us how you actually got involved.
Well, my career started, I'm going to date myself now, but a couple of decades ago. Yeah, mostly in the advertising and branding industry. Started off with advertising, actually, and felt that very quickly that my passion was more into branding and identity and
Hmm.
brand strategy and creating personalities for brands. So quickly, I went into that sort of that role and realized that that was more for me. And I think that it's more about creating the story that I was really excited about. I mean, advertising is also definitely a part of the branding initiative, but creating that story that is compelling that people resonate with, that's sort of where my passion lies.
Okay. Yeah, that really makes sense. And now you're in the creative role. I kind of enjoy that role a lot myself. Much more free flowing. I feel like you have more artistic control over things in that way. So that's kind of what drives you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a blend of the artistic side with the business side.
Mhm.
It's obviously an artist is if you're a fine artist, you'd be creating it for self-expression. But we're talking about a business strategy, creating art and design that serves a business purpose. So it's got to work for the business. It's got to grow the business. It's got to have strategic objectives that have to be satisfied. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So then how did you get involved with Better Plant Sciences?
That was probably about 2 years ago now, and I was brought on to create a brand. So develop a brand in the CBD THC space for something that we had an idea to launch in Oregon. So that was a big part of what we wanted to do, and so they brought me on to create that from the name and the strategy and the positioning of it. And then from there, well, things started to happen. We got to work a lot closer together, and yeah, and brought me to where I am today.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So you started out as creative director, and now you transitioned into chief creative officer. What does that change really mean for you in the company?
Other than the more responsibility, it's very similar, but I think that it's more of an expanded role in that definitely a lot more direction and more vision and strategy based. I was already doing a lot of that, but I think as our team grows and expands, we add more people in the creative and marketing departments. There's definitely more of a management and a supervision role overall. And it's really exciting because we get to work very closely as our executive team to visualize, to strategize where the brand's going to go, and that's really a big part of what I'm excited to do. It's again, like I said, design is one part, but you've got to start obviously with the strategy, business objectives first.
Wonderful. So yeah, you're more of the business helm now. You got more responsibility on your shoulders, and you're feeling good about it. That's what people like to hear. I think you're one of the best people to ask this question. So then, give me like an elevator pitch of what it is Better Plant Sciences does.
Well, to put it simply, I say you know, well, let me step back a little bit too, because we changed our name. So to tie in with the better part of the name of the company, what we do is essentially trying to make things better in terms of wellness and everything that is plant-based, harnessing plant intelligence to grow the company.
Hmm.
Essentially creating brands around that space. I think that that's the culture. That's what people are passionate about in here. There's always a level of curiosity as well that breeds innovation. So yeah.
Okay, so can you break it down a little more when talking about better plants? Give some examples for people to kind of grasp onto.
We're involved in a bunch of different brands, some of which we acquired, some of which we built from the ground up.
Mhm.
So you've got, say, Jusu, for example, which was acquired. And Jusu is a dominantly plant-based, everything fits into our values. So plant-based, I'd say, skincare, juices, body care, you've got home cleaning products. So all very natural, derived ingredients. And then you also have a company like, say, Neon Mind, which is, there are two divisions to Neon Mind. On one side, there's the biosciences, where we deal with clinical trials to treat obesity. And on the other side, there's a consumer division where it's functional mushroom-based products like coffees, and we have a bunch of other SKUs coming down the line there too. So that's a couple of the brands. We have Right and Well, that is that CBD THC brand that we launched in Oregon. Um, and we also have Urban Juve, which is a hemp root oil inspired skincare line. We have also Como, which is a recently launched brand, which is in the plant-based comfort food space. Very exciting. So you got lasagnas and shepherd's pie and, chicken pot pie. So all of that kind of combined together, I think really sums up our vision and our whole philosophy of harnessing plant intelligence.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you guys have all these other companies under you, kind of like an umbrella. And speaking of which, Neon Mind, we also have interviews done with. So we'll drop a link below so you guys can go watch those as well. Really interesting company. And Rob does a great job giving you guys good service. All right. So do you guys really have any competitors in this space? You guys kind of touch on a lot of things. What really gives you guys the edge?
It's very difficult to say who our competitors are because, like you say, I think we're very uniquely positioned in what we offer. The ability to actually create and develop brands from scratch, and at times even take it public. And I don't know how many organizations within the plant-based industry has that model. So I nothing really comes to mind in terms of direct competition, which is good. But obviously there are plant-based companies that have their own brand under one umbrella, and they have sort of offshoots, sort of sub brands, but it's all within that umbrella. I think for us, it's a little bit different. We have subsidiaries that are wholly owned, that we own part of, or we acquire 100% of a company, but it's all, say, 4 or 5 brands within the plant-based space.
Yeah, it's interesting. You guys do seem to be in a pretty unique position. It's hard to really compare you guys to anybody. Let's kind of dive into future plans then. Is there anything you can tease about the timeline for the rest of 2021 that's, publicly known?
Well, I got to be very careful what I say here, obviously, but all I can say is that there are a lot of exciting things in the pipeline for us in terms of growing the brands that we already have. I think we're in a position now to focus and allocate our resources to really taking the brands that we've just launched into the next phase. So before we, I think, develop new brands or offshoots or acquire other companies, we're going to focus on that. I can see sort of as a focus for 2021, and also adding to our creative marketing team and enhancing the brand experience at every touch point for the consumer and the audience will be our focus this year.
Wonderful, Perry. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Is there any last things you want to say about yourself or about the company?
Yeah, I would say I feel very fortunate and very honored to be part of Better Plant Sciences. That I think that I truly believe that things get aligned for a reason. I feel that the culture fits very, very well with my own personal values, and the team that we have here and are continuing to expand upon is, I'd say, the best team I've ever worked with in my career. So I'm very excited about the potential of what we're going to develop together, what we can create. Again, I think in a lot of spaces that are unique to us. And again, pushing that whole better mentality and improving lives, improving wellness, making things better for you, for everybody, for the world is, honestly, I get very excited getting up every morning to do this.
Wonderful. Sounds great, Perry. Thank you so much for coming on, giving your wisdom. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Don't be afraid to like, subscribe, send us a couple questions to answer. We'll answer them for you. Perry, hope you have a wonderful day, man.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for the time.